About a program that's supposed to give shelter to Kent County's homeless families. Target 8 obtained emails laying out the state's concerns about the Salvation Army's housing assessment program. For the first time, the agency agreed to sit down with Target 8 investigator Susan Samples to talk about the crisis that's recently forced homeless families from hotels. Susan?
Marley, after documenting dozens of homeless families in October forced to leave hotels after funding ran out, I submitted a Freedom of Information request to the State Department of Health and Human Services. What I got back, emails in which the state took the Salvation Army to task for putting homeless families on wait lists when they were eligible for shelter. The images were disturbing. Dozens of homeless families forced to leave hotels. Also of concern, what was happening behind the scenes at the Salvation Army's housing assessment program, the gatekeeper, the one central intake point for anyone facing homelessness in Kent County. In a September email, the state called out the Salvation Army, saying its housing staff was not following client eligibility requirements, resulting in eligible and vulnerable clients being screened out, placed on a wait list, and remaining on the streets or in their cars.
Now, were there some folks that didn't get served that should have? I can say yes, that there were, and for that we apologized within reason, related to the availability of resources.
Major Glenn Caddy blamed a perfect storm. More homeless families than ever, unable to keep up with soaring rents. Not enough resources to help them all. A crisis building for the last year. Should the Salvation Army have recognized that this was becoming a crisis and perhaps sounded the alarm earlier?
We probably could have. Again, as I said, there was staff transitioning at that time, and so we're training staff. Some of the staff with history were no longer there. The state wrote, too, that clients and partners were reluctant to call the Salvation Army's housing assessment program staff because calls are not returned promptly and HAP staff are rude or dismissive. It is a very high-pressure type job. When you're overwhelmed, people can be short. We are working with staff members. The state, which helps fund emergency hotel rooms, also wrote, in the recent case of the mother who was released from the hospital to homelessness with 2 newborns, this family would have met our eligibility because they were self-certifying that they were literally homeless. Do you feel like the Salvation Army failed? I can't say 100% that we failed. I think that we could have done a better job. As far as as far as alerting the oncoming storm and getting ahead of it. Major Caddy said he had no details about the case of the homeless mom with 2 newborns, and the state's email did not give any details either. He also said the hotel need was just too great, that the state funds ran out and then the Salvation Army's reserves ran out. An emergency task force, a coalition of housing agencies, is working on the homeless family crisis in Kent County. One effort, they're trying to turn the Holland home Fulton Manor into a shelter for homeless families, at least for the short term. We'll keep track of developments. Marley, back to you.